All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever stopped to think about what actually keeps your bank account details, your private messages, or even your medical records safe online? Well, it pretty much all boils down to this core concept called the CIA Triad. It's the absolute foundation for all of information security. It's a question that affects every single one of us, whether we're trying to bank online, pull up our health records, or even just browse the web. How can we be sure our digital world is actually secure? The answer, believe it or not, starts with a really simple but powerful framework. And let's just get this out of the way right now. No, we are not talking about spies and secret agents. When you hear cybersecurity experts mention CI, they're talking about a security model, kind of like a guide for keeping information safe. And it's all built on three core pillars. And here they are: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three things working together, they form the bedrock of information security. So what does this triad actually do? Okay, so put simply, the CIA Triad is the main model that guides all the security policies inside any organization you could think of. It's really like the master blueprint for protecting information. So let's break down each of these pillars, starting with the C. First up, we've got confidentiality. Honestly, the easiest way to wrap your head around this one is just thinking about keeping a secret. It's all about making sure only the right people get to see the information. This example just hits the nail on the head, right? Your private medical records are the perfect case. I mean, you would not want that information getting out to just anyone. That protection, that privacy, that's confidentiality in action. So, if we want to get technical, the official definition is that it's a set of rules that limits access. It's all about putting really strict controls on who is even allowed to look at sensitive data. But here's the crucial thing. Confidentiality isn't just about locking everything in a digital vault. It's about smart access control. It stops info from getting to the wrong people by running on a simple but powerful idea: need to know. If you don't need it for your job, you don't get to see it, period. But, keeping data secret is really only half the battle. This brings us to the I in CIA, integrity. And this is all about making sure that the information we're protecting is true, that it's trustworthy. Let's jump back to that medical record example for a second. What if your doctor could see your file, but the info inside was just wrong? Imagine it said you had an allergy you don't, or maybe it missed one that you do. That data would be worse than useless. It could be downright dangerous. And that's why integrity is so incredibly vital. And that's really the heart of it. Integrity is the promise, the assurance that your information is accurate and that you can trust it. It means it hasn't been messed with or changed by someone who had no business touching it. So what this means is that integrity is on guard for the entire life of that data. It stops unauthorized changes to make sure that what you're seeing is reliable and accurate, from the very second it's created to the moment it's deleted. Okay, so that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the A, availability. Because look, information that's confidential and has integrity is awesome, but it's not much use if you can't actually get to it when you need it. And wow, does this example bring it home. Picture an emergency room. A doctor needs your medical history, and they need it right now. If the system is down or the data is locked away somewhere, then even the most secure and accurate information on the planet is completely worthless in that critical moment. So the formal definition here is a guarantee of reliable access for authorized people. And you really got to pay attention to those two words, reliable and authorized. The right people have to be able to get in whenever they need to. So to wrap this one up, the whole point of availability is simple: making absolutely sure the right people have access on time whenever they need it. This means keeping the systems up and running and protecting them from anything that could cause a disruption. Now, here's where things get really, really interesting. You might think the goal is just to max out all three of these pillars, right? But in the real world, confidentiality, integrity, and availability are often fighting with each other. It's a constant balancing act. And this comparison just lays it all out there. On one side, you've got a system for military secrets. Here, confidentiality is everything. Access is super restricted, passwords are a nightmare, and it's slow, but that's a price you're willing to pay. Then, on the other side, you have a public news website. Here, availability is king. It has to be fast and open for everyone, which naturally means it's way less focused on confidentiality. And this is probably the biggest takeaway of the whole thing. Security pros don't even try to make everything 100% confidential, 100% integral, and 100% available all at once. It's impossible. Their entire job is to find the right balance based on what the information is and how it's being used. So there you have it, those three pillars:
Confidentiality, integrity, and availability, they truly are the bedrock of modern cybersecurity. It's the starting point for pretty much every security strategy out there, but it's definitely not the end of the story.
But, technology never stands still, right? The CIA Triad is the essential foundation for sure. But new models like this thing called the Parkerian Hexad are popping up. They basically build on top of the Triad by adding new concepts like authenticity and utility, which just goes to show how our understanding of security is always getting deeper. And all of this leaves us with one big final question to chew on. We've got confidentiality, integrity, and availability as our core. But with technology racing ahead, I'm talking about AI, deepfakes, quantum computing, what comes next? What's going to be the fourth pillar that we absolutely can't live without? Now, that is something to think about.